What up, peeps and peepettes? MorbTron back today with more Warframe, and today we're going over a beginner's Nidus build, zero Forma, no special fancy mods, anything like that. It's a pretty good build. I've been playing around with Nidus ever since I unlocked him, just about a day ago now. Been having a blast. Nidus is great. It starts from the quest, The Glassed Gambit. You can look that up on the wiki if you're interested in unlocking it for yourself if you don't have it already. But here we go. Here is the build. Like I said, zero Forma. The weapons that I do have Forma used on, I have taken that into account and removed enough mods, or used weaker mods to make up for that and have it be a true beginner's build. Now, I will mention the Sikaris Prime. I do have that as my secondary. I don't ever use the thing all that much. So unless you go down or whatever in a group party, you can switch out Sikaris Prime for anything else, really. Just disregard my secondary for this video. But for the Nidus build itself, I decided to go with Rejuvenation, as it can really help out in lower levels. You don't have the better mods and things of that nature. But here's what I've got. I've got Rejuvenation. Like I said, zero Forma, so it does not match. But I'm using all 65 of my capacity that I have. I've got Rejuvenation, I've got Power Drift, Intensify, Streamline, Hunter Adrenaline, Flow, which is so the same as Streamline, 2 from max, Stretch, Vitality 2 from max, and Steel Fiber 3 from max, and 1 slot left over. Like I said, no Forma, kind of beginner-ish build. This is what you're going to find. It works really well. You want really as much power strength as you can get at lower levels. Now I imagine later on when you put some Forma into them, you're probably still going to want a bunch of strength, but having, maybe duration and range might help as well, especially the range with some of his abilities. And as far as the weapons, I'm going to suggest using a shotgun. Now, I like using the Heck because it is fairly easy to get Scattered Justice for it. That is included with this build. You get it from Steel Meridian, or it sells for not very much platinum on the market. So you can see the 2 Forma that I have used on it. You see there 2. I'm not even using those slots. I'm at 1 out of 60. It's got Corrosive. The only one that's not fully upgraded is Shotgun Savvy at 2. Now, my usual build is different than this. Usually it's a dual. I'm using Corrosive and Heat, and a couple other mods on here. This is just, what you can expect to be able to build with, the Heck to do some very good damage for having no Forma into it. Now, you could also be using the Tigress as well if you have the Tigress. I kind of like shotguns, those 2 shotguns equally. But the reason I would suggest using a shotgun on Nidus is because right away, or later on, towards the end of, let's say you're doing a survival mission, which I'll show later on, right away before you're building up your stacks on Nidus, which of course increases his damage, running into heavily armored targets can be a little bit of a pain to take them down. So having a big shotgun with Corrosive on it does help with that. Tigress will do more damage, of course, but it only has 2 rounds. But there we are. And then we have the Lesion, which I do have 1 Forma into, but again, that was just for twirling Spire that I switched it over to, what is it? I switched it over to Namaron from, I believe it was Amadurai, in the stance slot. So it would give you basically an extra 4. Or sorry, no, it wouldn't. It would give you, I go from 4 to 6. So this is actually over. You could remove. So that you could, what you could do is you can take this Molten Impact, because this is a dual stat. I have Heat and Corrosive, and just have a like 2 down. So 3 out of 5 upgraded Molten Impact, and you'd have the no Forma build. If I do have another Molten Impact, I'll just go ahead and do that right now. So we've got 9 left. You get the 6 bonus for there, so I need to have 6 left so I can pump 3 levels into Molten Impact. Then you can kind of see what the build can do to be true to the no Forma build. And then if I do end up using my Sikaris Prime for whatever reason, there's no Forma in it at all. I haven't formed the thing once. So, but yeah. Oh, and then as far as my companion slot goes, I'm using Worm. It has no Forma in it, but I do have Crowd Dispersion and Coolant Leak on it, just to give maybe a little bit more CC. If things get close to me, start meleeing me, they can get me knocked back. Maybe save my life once or twice. That's kind of what I'm hoping for there. Yeah, you could use something else too. You know, if you wanted to, you could use, you know, an actual pet like a Kubro or a Helminth Charger if you wanted to be, you know, fashion frame and matching. Or, you know, you can use a Kavat, whatever you want to use. You can use Carrier if you want to use your shotgun more so you don't run out of shotgun ammo. You can literally use anything. Anything you want. It'd be perfectly fine. Yeah. So nothing special. You can get all this stuff minus Sikaris Prime really easily. Like I said, consider that as not even there. So I'm probably not even going to use it, because I am playing in solo mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a survival mission. This survival mission, to be exact, levels range between 35 to 45. And I'm going to hit the 20-minute mark, but I'm going to bring you guys in at 10. Alright, so we're at just about the 10-minute mark. And this is where things, they don't get difficult, per se, but the enemies, like with this build, at lower levels, you are going to get enemies that don't die in one hit from your one. So I'm not going to, you know, explain exactly what all the abilities on Nidus do. If you're interested, you'll look them up on the wiki. But basically, you just lock people down with your 2, gather them up, and then hit them with your 1. If you hit more than 3 people or 3 enemies at once with your 1, you basically gain energy. More energy than it costs to actually use the ability. So, in other words, it's a free ability. Plus, you actually gain energy. It's very nice. The 2 ability, you just cast it, and it gathers enemies up. Now, some enemies will be immune if they have certain buffs to them that makes them immune to crowd control. And range does affect how far it will pull. Now, it will try to pull people through obstacles like these boxes occasionally. And will kind of not bug out, but will make it so that it tries to pull them through an area where they can't be pulled through. And it just kind of locks them in place, but not where you want them to be. The 4 is what you see I put down on the ground here. It heals me, it puts little maggots out that do damage and kind of lock people in place. They freak out, basically, when they're attacked by the Nidus maggots. So once you get like later on in a survival mission or higher up, I'll try to see what level these people are once they stop. I think that one was level 42. Oh, Nidus maggots just exploded. So yeah, they're mid 40s right now. And you kind of see that once you hit 100 stacks of your infection, let's call it, you can't go any higher than that. So it kind of puts a hard cap on how much damage your 1 can do, because the higher your stack count, the more damage 1 does. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, Nidus runs out of tricks up his sleeve. basically at this point you just become a true tank. You know, your damage is capped out, yes, but you can't really die once you have 100 stacks. If you do lose all of your health, you go into an invulnerable form, and you basically lose 10 stacks of your buff or your infection, and you just have to regain them back by hitting people with your 1. Now you will see I have like a tentacle going from me to this Ancient Disruptor. That's the 3 ability. Basically, any damage that I take, most of it goes to him. He's not actually physically taking damage right now, but once I break the tether, you see he falls over and dies. Now, it's nice to just be able to CC something for a very long time that you just don't want to deal with, whether it be like a Nox or, you know, a heavy gunner or something like that, or one of these Ancient Disruptors. You just don't want to deal with it. You know, just make it take your damage for you. And between that and having 100 stacks and your 4, basically the only thing that's keeping you from going infinite on a survival mission is running out of life support. That's basically it. You gather enemies up, you mow them down. The big ones that don't die right away, that's what your shotgun's for. You know, you put something in your 2 and it doesn't die right away, you can either, you know, just keep hitting it with your 1, or you can just unload your shotgun into it. Works really well. Or if you just want something to die right away, like an Ancient Disruptor that's making everything really, really tanky, yeah, shoot that first. And now I'm out of energy because of one of those. That's fine. So you can still use your 3 and your 4 ability without energy, because those use your stacks. So, there we go. There's that. So I'm still super tanky, and you can kind of see here how far the tether can go. It's very useful. So we're at 15 minutes. Should go get some life support soon. But basically, if you lose your energy, you just gotta be careful. Use your shotgun. Use your melee weapon, whatever you want to use, for a little while. You get enough energy to use a 2 and a 1. Make sure you're hitting more than 3 enemies at a time. And bam, now you have full energy again. Like I said, you can still use your 3 and your 4 without energy, because it just takes stacks. So your 4 takes like 10 stacks to use, and your 3, let's find out exactly here, uses 1. So not bad at all, considering how damn good it is. Oh, I'm sorry, the 4 only takes 3. I was wrong. Don't have all the facts. I'm not a Warframe pro, so sorry. You know, I'm still somewhat of a newbie, but I have been playing, you know, video games long enough. I can tell when a build is good for where I'm at. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really in any danger. What I will do though, real quick, is I'm gonna undo my 3. And I'm just going to let them kill me, if they can. Something will be able to kill me. I'll stand in this. I'm going to let them swarm me, and then I'm going to let them take me down to no health. And you'll kind of see that invulnerable state. Someday. Someday they're going to kill me. Maybe. Come on. You can do it. It's hard to die. I'm not even doing anything. You can go AFK for a while. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And there we go. Undying. So you see 10 of my stacks are going to go away. My worm is dead, so that kind of sucks. But I guess that's the price I pay for trying to show this off. But we are going to go get some life support. That tentacle actually stretches pretty damn far. So if you have to get some life support, you know, you have to go pick up a mod that dropped. You know, don't be afraid. You can go pretty far. You can go pretty dang far. Hello. We're at 18 minutes, 18 and a half minutes. We'll have to go get another life support here before long, before we end it. Poor worm being dead. My fault. I wanted to show off not being able to die, and he paid the price. Prepare for life support. Oh. Okay. I didn't lose any stacks by doing that. That was kind of dumb of me. It's kind of hard to see occasionally with so many things going on with Nidus. It's kind of the bad thing. Use your 4 especially. And it's, if your energy color is bright like mine is, consider extraction. It's it can be hard to see. Critical life support levels. Yes, 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 Space Mom. I know. Actually, doing this is my best option. That should keep you going for a while. So, yeah, Nidus is a lot of fun. You know, before I've been using the hell out of Oberon, basically, because Oberon also can't die. Really easy to solo things, as Oberon, you know, Rhino, although Rhino can't really self-heal. Yeah. I mean, what's not fun about this? Like, it's a little in your face with the colors, and you know, the especially if you have a bright energy color, like I said, can get a bit distracting. But it's just fun, good, clean family fun. Plus, he looks amazing with this with the mutation going. But we're gonna head out because we are over the 20-minute mark. Yeah, successful run. You could, of course, go over 20 minutes. I just kind of wanted to show off what the frame can do with this build. 0 Forma, you know, kind of beginner mods. Nothing too difficult to farm for and get. Yeah, very successful. Very good build. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below of the build. Hit the like button if you liked the video. If you're new to my channel, you want to see more of my daily content, hit that subscribe button. But do not forget to have a good day, everybody, and I'll catch you all next time.